everyone, and welcome to Thriver TV. And we have a Shifts Happen, and they're always really amazing to do. And I have the lovely Bren all the way from California. Welcome, Bren.
Hi, Mel. It's
So
lovely
great.
to be.
It's great to have you here. And Bren and I've tried to get together a few times. And then I had an internet crash this morning. I'm at a girlfriend's house and we've had technology, but we're here. We've done it. It's just fantastic. So Bren, you're a NAPA. You've been working with the NAP program for quite some time and having amazing breakthroughs, which is just, it's been awesome, watching you. How long has it been now that you've been working with the program?
July, August 2015, when I was brought to my knees with the worst narcissist. Well, they're all bad. I just couldn't go on. I remember it was like 1 a.m. one morning. I came home and I just purchased the thing because I was desperate, really desperate.
Yeah.
And I found you by accident while I was having coffee one day, searching just the characteristics of all the men that I thought, I can't go on like this. And there you came up, the first one, and I started listening and reading the blogs, and I thought, oh my God, this is like, and it's been heaven on earth. The forum is heaven on earth, I'm telling you. It's just amazing.
I know, they're
amazing. Moderators are fabulous.
Yes, yeah, the whole team's incredible.
Unbelievably. Honestly, like an answer to prayer since I've been a small child, because no one ever understood me.
Yeah.
And the pain.
Yeah. Well, you've been blossoming. You've been doing so well. But as you said, you've hit a place where you want some help with some stuff. And you put your hand up for this. Actually, I think I hunted you down too. And I said, come on, Bren, let's do yours.
Yeah, I've got to, I've achieved what I want to in my personal relationships. I've probably swung the other way because when I see any kind of thing, I just put a stop to it instead of going there. I still react. I still do. I did the crazy woman about 2 months ago on somebody, and I was freaked out for a week, and I realized it hit some really harsh, painful things, and I think I'm still reeling from that. And I didn't like my behavior, and I've gotten to a place now where I'm observing myself. So before I react, this wisdom comes in that says, you can't just do this. So I used to just go in on automatic and just, fight back. And I've done that all my life. And that's my self-defense because my parents were so emotionally cruel. So I became very verbal and I used to cut them to shreds. And I do that with people a lot. And I don't want to do that anymore.
Oh, and it's gorgeous you've realised that. So you threw the hooks and the pain and the trauma of the narcissist. And this is like your next stage of your development, your growth, and a lot of people do this, when we've been really shattered and we've been hurt so much. And, people can get really defensive anyway. It's like we can overdo boundaries. But as you said, you recognise you've had this trigger in you where, you're gorgeous in the forum, you're amazing, but you can see, we've all got our little glitches, right? But we can see that you can be strong and you can be, really on it, really on top of it. And you've recognized you want to be softer, you want to be.
Exactly. I operate a lot out of the masculine because, you got to take care of yourself. And I really want the feminine to come through still with the strength. And I'm listening to so much on that.
I love that. And oh my gosh, that is such a big shift for the feminine and for women.
Huge.
That we can be gracious and strong. We can be humble and powerful. We can have that real grace and divinity that is just so magnetic, but it doesn't have to be ball breaking.
Well, I'm ball breaking, so unfortunately,
I love you're honest.
I've got to break through this. I mean, the last person that I was involved with, I sent about 20 vicious texts, and he said to me, "I'm scared of you. I don't want to come near you."
Sure.
And yeah, he wasn't the right person. He was an aide. He was an absolute aide. He wasn't a narcissist, but he was an aide because he had other issues. And but I didn't like my response. That broke me. That broke me. I was walking around like a cripple in pain because I did that to myself.
Gorgeous that you're really honest about this. I reckon that's what we're going to
All
work
my
on.
life. Yes.
That's what we're going to work on. I love that. How about we get to it?
Go for it.
Okay, awesome. All right, so Bren, I just need permission to come into your space.
Absolutely, please.
Okay, so we're going to do a soul retrieval. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pick up the pieces that have split, that are missing out of you. All right, so I'm doing the muscle test by proxy at the moment. You can tell you do work on yourself. You've got 700 pieces missing, but people that aren't doing the inner work can often have thousands. So just breathe, your body open. We're going to bring you back into you, and we're going to teach you it's your divine right to be whole. It's safe to be whole. Your body knows how to be whole, and we're going to bring you back in. Okay. And now we're going to check out and see what you've taken on from outside of you that's infiltrated you. So this is the stuff that's hurt. This is the stuff that's, oh, and I can already feel it.
Oh, I'm already crying. Oh, it's so heavy.
Oh, gosh. And it's time for it to go. That's, as we ascend and we heal and we work on ourselves, it is the layers of the onion. And then we get to a point where the dense stuff in our body has to go if we're going to ascend up any further. And you're ascending and you're growing so much. And it's like this, and no wonder it's rattling your cage, and incidences are coming that are smashing it all the time, because it's like, okay, it's got to go, it's got to go. You're up around 5,500. So this is big, and it's time to go. And it's total feelings of I've been violated. That's really what this, and it's no wonder that when you're feeling violated, that you're coming back like a ball breaker. Okay.
I do, and I see this past life person who was just a woman who was wanting to be heard and was just crushed all the time. I have this vision, and before I did your work, I didn't know about past life regression, but I always saw myself as this woman, and I'd love to do some past life regression, but even way back then, I was just always pushed down, and I had this ability to flourish, and I just didn't happen. And then I get knock parents who keep me down too, because they can't stand the whatever it is in me that wants to break through. Well, they're not alive anymore, but as a child.
Absolutely. And that's what happens, that whatever trauma we've carried in from past lives, well, then we're born into the parents that reflect and repeat that, to bring it up again. And then it comes from everywhere, and whoa, it's so there. Well, that's really what I want to go to, that trauma in your body of I'm smacked down, but we'll massage it a bit. So we're going to set the intention right now that exactly what we're working on, the field and your body knows better than we do. Let's breathe body open. Let's get a trigger in you, Bren, where you feel something in your body light up about this now. And just while you're breathing, I'm just going to say to the people at home, you can join in with these healings. That's what they're all about. And all you have to do is to have given permission, or give permission now, to come into this healing space and follow in if you felt smacked down as well. So where in your body, Bren, can you feel it?
Sort of the upper chest area, probably the heart area, just throat. That's where I feel it very strongly. It's like 20 out of 10.
Perfect. So when you go in there, how old is this part of you? Are we going to go ancient with it, or is the child turning up?
I guess ancient.
Breathe.
I'm really crying. It's so painful.
That's good.
Oh.
That's good. That's so good. This is exactly where we need to be. I just want you to breathe and body open. All right. So we've got this ancient part of you, and it's a really big charge. Okay. So what are the feelings that come with it, or the thoughts?
Fear, being crushed, trampled,
Perfect.
trying to
That's all we
survive. Fear, abandonment always.
Okay. Okay.
It's very tight. It feels very tight in my chest.
Okay. Breathe and body open. Okay. Okay. So let's go with that feeling, trampled. Is it feelings of being betrayed and rejected and trampled?
No, absolutely, total. Betrayal is huge in my life.
Gotcha.
Mistrust, backstabbing.
Can't trust. Yeah, okay, beautiful.
Huge.
All right, all of that feeling, body open and breathing, we've got it. We've got it as a swirling mass, and we're going to put in there the associated, the pain, the shock, the fear, the burden, the trauma, the grief, the anxiety, the anger, the resentment, the brokenness, the powerlessness, and every other confusion and emotion that goes with that. Okay, and we are going to put in there any past life situations, events, occurrences, attachments, belief systems, survival programs, and emotions that are also contributing. Okay, so we're going right back on the timeline now. The first lot that we loaded up was your pain body, and now we're going back through the timeline. Just breathe, body open. You are ready, really ready to clear this stuff, Bren. Good. Still going. It's really huge. Breathe. You're doing great.
Feels like it's. I feel like I'm choking.
Yeah, and you probably did back then. And we're going to put in there any beliefs on soul, personal, and genetic level, and the genes and the DNA that go with all of that too. Right, breathe. And the belief that's coming up that keeps running through me is my very existence is taken away from me.
Absolutely right. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't feel like I'm connected to myself very often.
Yeah, I don't even have the choice to exist. So it's like you have been exterminated.
Absolutely. Well, you know, I was an instrument baby. I didn't think that I wanted to come out in this world. And then my mother rejected me and gave me to someone else to breastfeed. So, you know, I think the stuff started way back then.
Yeah, exactly. And that's all the repeat of coming in with the traumas in your energy field, you know.
And she never stopped telling me that.
Wow. Okay, so we've got all of that junk and stuff. All right, Bren, we're going to do this together. We're going to release it out through the tornado, out through the top of your head. So what I want you to do, I want you to really surrender and open up. And we're seeing all of that junk and that stuff inside you. And we're going to spiral it up and we're going to let it go. We're going to do it together. We're going to let it go out through the top of your head and send it off to life, source, and creation. And know the relief of letting it go. And I want you to see big blobs of stuff going out or however you see it, and it dissolves back to God and love. Okay, you're sending those things back for recycling to your higher self, to creation, to life force, to all that is, which is love. That feels a lot better. Bren, how does that feel?
Just want to cry. Oh.
Okay.
relief.
Keep going. Yeah. Good. 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 Okay. Breathing. Let's go to your sacred space. Take yourself there. All right, and we're going to bring down into you and all of this space unconditional love and self-acceptance and support. And we're going to fill you in this space like a beautiful, big, warm, soft pillow. Okay, so we're going to do the next level of clearing. And what we're going to do is we're going to connect you up to the source energy grand design truth, which is the dissolving of all of those beliefs and energies that we've named and claimed in your body. We're going to dissolve all of those back to native nothingness and back to space. So this is a shift that I do with energetic intent directly in your DNA. Okay, wonderful. Okay, wonderful. And we're going to connect you up to the source energy grand design truth, which is the energy of your higher self and source and loving eternal parent, the energy of source life God, which is all of the healing and the resolution of this, which is bringing you back to the knowing that it is safe to be you and exist in your body, and it is safe to be love. Gentle yet fierce. Gorgeous. That's nice. That feels better. Okay, so we're going to connect you up now to the next level of the shift. So I want you to see you as the container, and in there is the junk and the stuff that relates to those charges of all of that being crushed, and my existence is taken away from me. And I'm just crushed and betrayed and destroyed. I want you to push all of that junk and that stuff out to the sides until you're clean, clear and open, and do that now.
Take it away.
See it dissolve back into love. Goes to God, it goes back into love. Served you, it's kept you alive. This is just the next level. Okay, are you done?
Yes.
Okay, so now we're going to imagine the pipeline that goes up to that big ball of source energy above your head. And in that big ball of glowing light is the energy of your higher self and source and loving eternal parent, the energy of source life God, which is all of that energy of the healing and the resolution, which is the connecting you back in your body, connecting to your source and source, which is the knowing of how to be gentle and fierce, how to be love and truth simultaneously, and how to work with directness and love and honesty for the highest evolution for all concerned. And I want you to bring in all of that light, bring it down the pipeline, see it fill the cells of your being. And as it fills the cells of your being, all darkness, all shadows gets dissolved out in the light. And you have an inner being which is glowing and extending all of that light throughout you as well until you're full. Tell me when you're full.
I am.
Gorgeous.
Oh, it feels such relief.
Good, 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 good. Now I want you to imagine the past life you, and she was crushed. And she was taken out. Her existence was taken away from her. Oof. So I want you to see her. Tell me when you do.
I do.
Pick her up, bring her over to you. And then see the angels are coming in around, and they're surrounding her, and they're reaching inside her body, and they're taking out that big ball of junk and stuff. She's letting it go, and you're supporting her, you're holding her, and so are the angels. And they're taking that big ball of junk and stuff up and away. Tell me when that's done.
Yes, okay.
Beautiful. And then hug her and fill her up with that energy of your higher self and source and loving eternal parent, the energy of source life God, which is all of that light that is filling up all of her cells and expanding them. All the darkness, all the shadows are taken out, and her inner being is glowing and expanding that same light. She becomes so full of light, Bren, that even her outline disappears, and she becomes this big glowing ball of light. Tell me when that's done.
It's done, but I feel tremendous sadness.
We need to have a look at that.
A real lot of sadness.
We need to have a look at that. So we're going to go to this sadness, and this is what we need to do in shifts. If something comes up, go to it. Okay, so this sadness, we need to pay it attention. Where do you feel it in your body?
Right in my heart. Right here.
So when you go into that part and partner with it, with devotion and super presence and love, how old is this part of you?
Little. 3, 5, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
A past life, in fact, no, this past life, that person that I keep on see is carrying that sadness, and I think it's come right through.
I agree, and I think we're going to work on those two things simultaneously, because there's definitely the child in there, and of course, you know, it's the ancient. Okay, perfect. So what are the beliefs or the feelings? What's the sadness?
No one cares.
Oh, yeah. Breathe. You're doing so well. No one cares. Oh, I'm unloved. No one cares. What would you rate it out of 10, Bren?
20 out of 10.
Massive.
10. 9, 10. It's big.
Breathe, breathe. So we've got that. Nobody cares. I'm unloved. Nobody cares. Breathe, and we've got it. We've got it as a swirling mass, and we're going to put in there the associated, the pain, the shock, the fear, the burden, the trauma, the grief, the anxiety, the anger, the resentment, the brokenness, the powerlessness, and every other emotion or confusion that goes with that. All right, and we are loading. Breathe, body open as much as you can. That's where we get the best load up. And this is great. You're doing so well. You're so ready to clear this stuff. We're loading. Gorgeous. And we're going to put in there any past life situations, events, occurrences, attachments, belief systems, survival programs, and emotions that are also contributing. We're loading that up too. And we're going to put in there any beliefs on soul, personal and genetic level, and the genes and the DNA that go with that as well. So this is our ancestor stuff, and this is the stuff in childhood. And ancestral traumas are really big. They just get passed on down the line over and over and over again till somebody breaks the cycle, which is what we all do. We break the cycle.
Which is where all my anger comes from, because I have a lot of anger.
And always underneath anger is a deep vulnerability
Sadness.
and a grief.
It's what it is, grief. Big time.
Absolutely.
Gotta go. Gotta go. Can't do it anymore.
Gorgeous, and that's the perfect place to be. And we're all loaded, Bren. So we're going to let this stuff out of your body. So we've got all of that charge of that deep grief and sadness of nobody cares, I'm unloved, nobody cares. Let's get it out of your body. Okay, so all of this junk and stuff, we're going to open up and surrender, and we're going to let it go. We're going to send it off to life and source and creation, and know the relief of letting it go. Seeing all that junk and stuff go, it's all dissolving back to God and grace and love. How does that feel?
Much lighter.
All right, so we're going to go to your sacred space. Tell me when you're there, Bren.
I'm there, thank you.
All right, and we're going to bring down into you and all of this space unconditional love and self-acceptance and support. And we're going to bring it all in and fill you and this space, your beautiful nature space that you've gone to. We're going to fill it all like a beautiful, big, warm, soft pillow. All right, we're going to connect you up to the next clearing. We're going to connect you up to the source energy, grand design truth, which is the dissolving of all of those beliefs and all of that trauma. We're going to dissolve it all back to native nothingness and back to space. Gorgeous. Oh, that's so much better. And we're going to connect you up to the source energy, grand design truth, which is the energy of your higher self and source and loving internal parent, the energy of source life God, which is that energy of the healing and the resolution, which is the knowing that you are adored beyond measure by all of existence simply because you exist. You are divinity itself. You are life force, your divinity, your creation. You're part of the whole. You're part of the one. And you are adored because you exist. You matter. You are matter itself. Your divine matter. Whoa, what a rush. Just went through that healing matrix. Okay, and we've got a hold. So your subconscious said 100% correct, I agree, because it knows the truth. Okay, so now we're going to imagine you as a container, and in there is that junk and the stuff. Nobody cares. I don't matter. I'm unloved. Ugh. Push it out. Send it off to love. See it dissolve.
Oh, just go.
Send it off with love.
I see the angels take it from me too.
That's gorgeous, beautiful. And as we said, you know, it has served you for a while. It kept you alive for centuries. But
Not
now
anymore.
it's time to ascend. It's time to bring in heaven on earth.
Yeah.
No more fear. We're replacing all of our fear and pain with love and truth. That's what we're here to do now.
Yay.
Survival, yes, survival lifetimes are done with. This is ascension now. Gorgeous. All right, so we've got the pipeline that goes up to that big ball of source energy above your head, and in that big ball of glowing light is the energy of your higher self and source and loving internal parent, the energy of source life God, which is all the healing and the resolution, which is all of the knowing that you are divine matter, and you matter and are loved beyond measure because you are matter and love. And we're going to bring in all of that light down the pipeline, fill up every cell of your being. All darkness and shadows get taken away by light, and your inner being glowing and extending all of that light throughout you as well until you're full. Tell me when you're done.
Okay.
Beautiful. Now imagine two little yous. One of them's a past life you, one of them's a small child. And they're both carrying those beliefs. And they're both broken and empty, and they're on the ground and they've had enough. Tell me when you see them.
Yeah.
Okay, so pick them up and bring them both over. And then, gorgeous. The angels are coming in around and surrounding them, and they're reaching inside their bodies and taking out that big ball of junk and stuff, taking it up and away. All right. And then I want you to hug both of them, and you're going to pour into them the energy of your higher self and source and loving internal parent, the energy of source life God, which is all of that divine cellular coded knowing that they are divine matter and they are loved beyond all of existence because they are love and they are matter. Fill them both up. Any shadows, darkness gets washed away. And their inner beings are glowing and expanding all of that energy throughout them as well until they're full.
Ah, it feels so much better. Yes.
And see them as glowing balls. Their outlines completely go. Beautiful. And then bring them inside of you so all three of you integrate together as the one glowing ball of light. Okay, then the angels are coming in back around you and they're reaching inside your body and they're switching on your genes in your cells. Your cells open up, source flows through you as you, and you glow. Take the glow out further, fill up your auric field.
I use my hands because I feel it around me.
Gorgeous. Whatever works. I love that.
Do my own napping here. I've got hands going all over the place, shooing out energy, bringing in energy, and just
I think it's gorgeous. I love that. I love that. Okay, now take the glow out into all of existence and see it match up with the glow that is existence. That there is only love. See that glow. And then step out into the glow with any shadow that might be left, any part of that dense energy that might still be there. See that dissolve back to love, and then what is left is you are the glow. You're all of it. And then with body open and breathing, no thought, just be that glow for a few breaths.
It feels so good.
Good.
Oh, I feel like a whole brick has come out of my system, like a heavy thing that was sitting there. It's gone.
Okay, so let's go back into your body and we're going to investigate that charge that was in your heart that was, I don't matter, nobody cares, I'm unloved. I want you to really go for it. It was huge. What would you rate it out of 10 now?
A 1 or 2.
Okay, so that little bit.
More like 1. It feels very clear inside. Very clear.
Good, 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 good. Let's try it this
I'd
way.
love to say 0, but I'm kind of probably, I don't know if there's a remnant or 2 left.
I want to check that little remnant because sometimes they can tap in, as you know, like they might feel like a 1, but then when we tap them, we really find something. Okay, so that little remnant somewhere in your body is going to light up. Where is that little remnant?
Throat.
Right. So when, body open and breathing, when you're with that part of yourself, how old is this part of yourself?
2.
Wonderful. And Bren, you're doing great, just trusting. This is what we do when we ask the body. Whatever pops up, you just trust it, go with it. Bren, what's this about when you tap into it and feel it? What comes up for you? What does your body say?
I'm invisible. No one... They don't hear me. They don't hear me from my heart.
Oh, perfect. I'm not heard.
I'm not heart connected. Well, this was obviously to my parents. I was just sort of, I don't know, I'm invisible. Your opinion doesn't count.
People don't hear my heart.
Well, I tend to sometimes give mixed messages because I'm scared to show my heart because of the vulnerability. I'm scared to be vulnerable because when I was vulnerable, I was crushed as a kid.
Smashed.
So there's the sadness and the anger, and so the walls came up.
Yeah, of course, of course. So this that you're tapping into now, because you're feeling a sadness on this belief, and this is what the process is, one belief at a time, you know, because there could be 7 or 8 on this, but it's one at a time. Fabulous. Okay, so the belief would be is it's not safe to share my heart. I can't trust people with my heart. Is that it? Are we on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, yeah, when I've shared, it's been thrown back in my face. So I don't share
Because there's such a
anymore.
big heart there that wants to connect. I feel it. Like you've got such a gorgeous heart, and you just want to. You're craving that, you know. But I can't.
And it's so abused. It's abused by people. So I've stopped. I don't. I've cut a part of myself off, which is a shame because that's part of who I am.
Yeah,
And it's made
yeah,
me hard. It's made me
yeah.
appear hard, and I lash out when I really
That's right.
want
That's
to be
right.
heard.
Right. Yeah. It's
Horrible. It's
my
so
heart's
horrible. I
not safe
hate it.
to share my heart. My heart gets abused. All of this stuff we've talked about, I'm just going to set an intention that we're bundling it all up into the
Yeah.
whole package, right? So we've got that energy of that package. What would you rate all of that out of 10?
About a 6.
We need to get it a bigger trigger.
Yeah, let me just
Yeah,
feel
you
it.
massage it and feel it and tell me what it is.
Okay, it's coming. It's sitting here. It's like an 8. About here, right here in my, I don't know if this is a heart, chest. And it makes me not want to breathe.
What's
Like
the
a chill.
belief? Ask it what the belief is.
You're not worth being loved.
Wow. Oh, yeah, big hit. Because our energy is connected, and I've just gone, oh, you're not worth being loved. That's it. Give me a rating
That's
out of.
fine. That's why, and it's confirmed in my relationships with people. They're just, I don't know, they're
And that's what
just,
our beliefs do. They generate the validity of the belief to the letter. That's right. Okay, I'm not worth being loved. Give it a rating out of 10.
about a 10.
Okay,
No,
breathe, body open, and we've got it. I'm not worth being loved. Awesome, awesome, beautiful, vulnerable, perfect work, Bren. This is the work. This is the real work. Okay, body open and breathing, and we've got it. We're going to put in there the associated, the pain, the shock, the fear, the burden, the trauma, the grief, the anxiety, the anger, the resentment, the brokenness, the powerlessness, and every other emotion and confusion that goes with that. And we are loading. Okay, beautiful. All right, and we're going to put in there any past life, situations, events, occurrences, attachments, belief systems, survival programs, and emotions that are all so contributing.
makes me feel paralyzed. Big.
And we're going to put in there any beliefs on soul, personal, and genetic level, and the genes and the DNA that go with all of that too. This is what's so important to remember, NARPers, people that are working NARP, that if you get a big charge down to a 1, any little skerrick, you've got to track it, because otherwise you could have missed a really big belief that's still playing out in your life and hurting you. This is the work. This is the work we need to do. All right, we've got it all loaded, Bren. So we've got all of that belief and that trauma, I'm not worth loving. Oh, with body open and a huge big surrender, Bren, we're going to let that go out of your body. We're going to send it off to source, life and creation and know the relief of letting it go. And as we see all of that leave, we're going to send it back to God and love. There is only love. We're going to let it go. Oh, beautiful.
Sitting in my head over here, and it's like a heavy piece of lead.
Okay. I just want to I'm seeing a whole heap of big blobs leaving you at the moment that are dissolving back. So let's just, okay. Is that thing still sitting in your head?
It's leaving. Okay, it's gone. Now it's here. It always sits over here. Then it comes to the front of my nose. Okay.
Did it release or do we need to go to it?
Sits here like pins and needles. I have it a lot. It comes here, then it goes here.
We
Then
need
it
to
feels
look
like
at that. We need to look at that. Okay, we need to look at it. All right, so that feeling in your nose, okay, is it going to stay in your nose or is there another part of your body that's going to light up? We're setting the intention. You tell me.
just sits here like pins and needles. It develops into like pins and needles, like my nose is falling
Okay, so
off.
we'll stay there. We'll stay with that. How old is this part of you?
Nothing. It doesn't have an age. It's like a zero.
Okay, is it ageless? Is it ancient?
Age. It's like, looks like a skeleton nose.
Okay, so we'll go ancient, ageless, ancient. What's it about?
I feel suffocated.
Okay, so it's a trauma. And it's more than likely a past life trauma. Can you feel, all we need to do is really pick up the trauma energy. Can you feel the trauma? The energy of this thing, whatever it is. What would you rate it out of 10?
It's big. It's like a 9 or 10.
Great.
It feels like I've been suffocated with a pillow.
Yeah, something's
Like
happened.
a grave and I can't breathe.
Yes. Yeah, you've been desecrated in some way. Absolutely. Annihilated, desecrated. Ooh, breathe.
I get a lot of eyelashes when I do my shifts, I get a lot of annihilation.
And if these things sit in our energy field, they need to go. Okay, so great, we've got it. I used to get this thing across my back that would never go until I went to it and shifted it, and then it was never there. That's the sort of thing we're talking about. So we've got it. And we've got that energy, and we've got it as a swirling mass, and we're going to put in there the associated, the pain, the shock, the fear, the burden, the trauma, the grief, the anxiety, the anger, the resentment, the brokenness, the powerlessness, every other emotion and confusion that relates to that energy. Great, breathe. Okay. And our body is fascinating. As we unravel, the body says, this has to go. For me to go up to the next level of my evolution, this dense energy has to leave. This one has to go. All we have to do is follow and trust. Because we don't know. Our body knows. Okay, we've got it. We're going to put in there any past life, situations, events, occurrences, attachments, belief systems, survival programs, and emotions that are also contributing. Breathe, body open. And in this energy that I'm feeling now, in this past life energy, it's a real what's the point energy. Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
So you would have felt like that a lot. There's no hope.
Oh.
There's no choice. What's the point?
It's big. It's huge. All the time I feel it. What's the point? Why even bother?
Yes. Because this is total desecration. Nothing left. Nothing left. That's where that's coming from. Things should start moving in your life, Bren, without this.
Oh,
Big time. Opportunities will start breaking through. Because when we've got what's the point, there's no choice, there's nothing else, well then that's exactly what happens in our hologram, in our experience. Okay, all right, so we're going to put in there any beliefs on, so you're going to have a huge shift in your life. We're going to put in there the beliefs on soul, personal and genetic level, and the genes and the DNA that go with all of that too. It's going to be awesome. There's going to be a lot of people in the forum that are going to, in the Nut Forum, are going to get onto some of these beliefs as a part of, you sharing this. This is great. Okay, good. And we're loading. I'm excited for them as well as you with what's to come. Okay. Oh, gee, on the genetic line, this is really big as well. So, you've come from a family line of people that have felt like this. They've felt desecrated and annihilated, and what's the point? And so stuck.
Totally. I see it in my mother, my father. Yes. And I can't do it anymore. I've got to achieve.
Oh yeah, you've got to break out of these patterns. Absolutely. Yeah. Because your spirit knows there's so much more than that. Okay, so we've got it. We've got the charges and the associations and the data and the programs of all of that energy we picked up on your nose, which is all of that desecration and what's the point and everything we've touched on and we've named and felt. All right, we're going to let it go. So I want you to imagine the junk and stuff inside you, and we're going to let it go and we're going to send it off. And know the relief of letting it go. And we're sending it off to life, source and creation. It's all dissolving back to God and love. Oh, and this beautiful space is opening up, and possibility and opportunity. Oh, yes. Can you feel that without that stuff?
Oh, it feels very spacious now and light. Like a light's turned on.
Yeah. I'm so seeing and
big
feeling.
Thing sitting here is not there.
All right, so go to your sacred nature space. Tell me when you're there.
I'm there.
We're going to bring in unconditional love and self-acceptance and support, and we're going to bring it in and fill you in this space like a beautiful, big, warm, soft pillow. And then we're going to connect you up to the source energy grand design truth, which is the dissolving of all of those beliefs and all of those traumas and energies back to native nothingness and back to space. And for those of you that aren't used to quantum freedom healing, that are watching, there are different parts of the subconscious that we need to clear in order to get a full healing. And that was one of them. All right, we're going to set up the source healing and resolution and all of what you know at true self level, which is the understanding of freedom and expansion and never-ending growth. And the moving forward into your highest aspirations and the truth of who you are at true self level, which all of existence supports beyond measure. Because this is existence expanding through you as you, which is the very nature of the universe, which is growth and expansion and joy. Ooh, that feels good. And we're going to set that up as the remembering and the knowing that you are at true self level, and we've got a hold on that. Now imagine you as a container, and in there is the junk and the stuff that relates to those charges of. Those charges of all of that stuck, desecrated, what's the point? Push it out to the sides till you're clean, clear and open.
Okay.
Okay, gorgeous. And now we've got the pipeline that goes all the way up to that big ball of source energy above your head. And in there is the energy of your higher self and source and loving internal parent, the energy of source life God, which is all of the filling up with the cellular coded knowing of the universe, which is expansion and freedom and eternal growth, and being able to have source expressing itself through us as our highest aspirations and contributions and greatest joy, which is who we really are. And I want you to fill up with all of that light, see your inner being glowing and expanding it throughout you as well until you're full.
I feel full and lit up. It feels good.
Gorgeous, gorgeous. As I always say, who needs drugs when you do this stuff? It's the
I
greatest.
don't understand why they do it. I don't do that stuff. No.
This
It's
is the
inside.
greatest natural high you could ever imagine. Okay, because it is a high being true self. It is a high. Okay, now imagine the ancient you, and she was stuck in all of that smothered and desecration and what's the point, and this is the end of the road. And okay, so tell me when you see her.
I always see her running next to a horseman on a horse
Wow.
who had compassion for her, and he was from that lifetime. And I feel like I was the daughter of somebody who was a king or something, but I was the woman, I was a girl, and I wasn't important, and I always used to run after this horseman and plead with him to take me away, and he used to just put his hand like that, smile, and again just put down, and I was left there always just looking up in such desperation, and hear me and see me, and it's like this thing never leaves me, and I'm so tired of this poor woman who is just crying out for recognition. And it's like, I don't know what it is, but I just want it to go, because it plays all the time in my mind.
Let's
So
do
I'd
the
like
shift
to
that we're doing, and take note, because what we're going to do, let's get this one through, then I want to talk to you about that. Yeah. So if we pick up, because that's an offshoot of it, absolutely. So if we pick up, let's see if we can, let's stay with the desecrated lady at this point. And she was put in a tomb, or she was buried alive, or she was put to death.
I don't know what happened to her, but she never obviously actualized. I just see her there. I don't see if that was me, which it's always been. I've had this thing with me for the last 5 years.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter, we don't even need, the logical facts. We feel it in our body. It's what we feel in our body that's real.
It's the crush, it's the excitement of maybe somebody would help me, and then they just rode off again, and there I was
God.
And
And
then
do
they
you
came
know
around
what?
again. It happened over and over, and I just...
And do you know what? I was hoping we could get through on that second shift, because we're up to an hour. And but Zach, my son, says to me, Melanie, he goes, Mom, you have to keep it to, shifts happen to. But you know what, Bren, I can't. I've got it. You know what? I have to do what a healer would do right now. which is I've got to go with you to this woman and the horse, because it's come up powerfully. And as you said, this is always there. And the only way for it not always to be there is for us to shift it. That's it. That's the only solution ever. So let's do it.
Because every time I do a module, she comes up in a past life.
That's why we've got to go to her. We've got to go to her. We've got to go. She's screaming out and saying, please come and heal me. Okay, so we have this girl who is saying, please help me. Please get me out of here. Where does this light up in your body?
Again, the heart area, powerlessness, so the solar plexus kind of area, more in the heart, just kind of in the heart. In the heart, it's the sadness of being ignored and
so
feeling
it's
like
ancient, and I'm ignored. And
very heavy, big.
And nobody's there for me. He's not there for me. Nobody's there for me.
I was the woman, the girl, not the son. And in fact, when I was born into this life, I was supposed to be the boy, and I was a big disappointment. I wasn't the boy, and maybe it carried through.
And there will be beliefs, because there's still going to be a lot around this. I know for myself, the amount of beliefs, it's in the female pain body. As a woman, we don't have rights. As a woman, it's in the female pain body. Like, all you have to do is a little bit of scanty history in our planet, and you can see how many women carry these beliefs. So that, you're going to have to do, because we'd be here for around 2.5 hours if we really cleaned up. So I want to pick the most important one.
Yeah.
But I really want you, after this healing, to go into all of those ones about a woman. As a woman, I have no rights. As a woman, I'm not heard. As a woman, this. As a woman, that. As a woman, like, you'll find them and pick them out and up-level them one at a time, because that is life-changing when you do that stuff.
And I'm in a male-oriented business, so yeah, I get a lot of it. Okay.
And then what happens, if we have an up-level, we try and show up as a man, and it's like two dogs going at each other. And as a woman, it doesn't work in our life if we're using...
Not in relationships and not in work. It doesn't. It's my big thing.
And do you know what? Not in anything. We get in our masculine.
Nothing.
It's terrible. Right.
Awful. I want it out.
Yeah, so cleaning up those female beliefs will be massive. And I'm sure we're going to have a lot of discussion in the forum. And I know there's a lot of other women that'll be getting onto that stuff, because we have to drop the masculine and come into feminine power now. It's so important. Not just for us, but for us to help men get into their heart space too,
That's right, to bring them back to their masculine.
To their masculine in a beautiful way. Okay, so that woman, I really feel like her beliefs are, what about as a woman, I don't matter, where she was pushed aside. What would be the belief? You're great at tapping into this, that woman. What's her biggest core painful belief when he was on the horse and he wouldn't take her away and he wouldn't really listen?
Well, at that time, I feel like women didn't really matter.
Women don't
because women were just there to have babies and...
Okay, I've got goosebumps all over me. Women don't matter. Can you pick that up in your body?
And I feel it from the father, my father then.
Okay,
women
so
don't
what's your belief? What's the belief? What's your body saying when you tap into that past life? What's the belief?
You could be dead for all I care, or you're just not worth. You just stay in the sidelines. You're not the prized possession. You're not the son. You don't matter, because women.
Okay, so what's the belief?
I don't know.
Is it women don't matter? You don't matter?
I don't matter. I'm not seen for who I am. And then I believe I was a very smart person, that I could see beyond the time of that I was born in. And I've been like that since I came out of the womb. I've always had this wisdom that my mother couldn't deal with, that there was something that I knew as a child that I don't know where I got the information from. And I think in that past life too, I saw that I was worth more than that. Women do matter, but I was still ignored. And as I said, I reached out to the horseman, or whoever this person was that I see on a horse, who was a foreigner to me, because those close to me didn't care if I was alive or dead.
All of that you've named, that's okay, because you're right in it. We're just going to say all of that you've named.
I feel like I'm there at this minute. I feel like I'm there. Whenever I'm napping, I feel like I'm in this woman's body.
Okay, you're right there. Let's shift. Let's shift it. Let's get out of the story and let's get into the shift. So you've got it in your body. Okay, we know it's ancient. What would you rate it out of 10?
About an 8.
Perfect. Breathe. Body open. And we've got it. Everything you've named and everything you've tapped into your body from that lifetime. And we've got it. And we're going to put in there the associated, the pain, the shock, the fear, the burden, the trauma, the grief, the anxiety, the anger, the resentment, the brokenness, the powerlessness, every other emotion and confusion.
I'm angry.
Breathe. Breathe. Good. Breathe. And just, I want you to stay out of the story. Don't let your head get into it. Just stay in your body. Just breathe and be with the feeling in your body, with your body open and breathing. Good. This is a big core wound.
Sad and angry.
And just allow, just to, just be with those emotions. Just allow them to be. Don't let your mind pick them up. Just be. Brilliant. Unconditionally with them. All right, and we're going to put in there any past life. Situations, events, occurrences, attachments, belief systems, survival programs, and emotions. Oh, this is really interesting, Bren.
Oh, it's big. It's like down.
Honey,
here.
this, I'll tell you, and I know you're evolved enough to deal with this, and this can be good stuff for everybody else watching this to know. Okay, because I'm an intuitive healer, so I'm tapping in, and when I tap into people's past lives, I often see images, I get messages, I'm right in your energy now. What's happened on the timeline is originally further back, you were a man, I was too, that actually abused women. Okay, right? And then what's happened is you've incarnated into the experience of a woman and then copying it back. Just breathe. Have your body open, hun. You've been both sides of the scale. So have I. So have a lot of people. Just breathe. Just breathe. So what's happened through your timeline is we're not just clearing the woman's perspective, and you've had lifetimes as a woman of being shoved down and, minimalized, right? Minimalized as a woman. You've been a man back in ages minimalizing women as well. Because, well, what else were you going to do? That's how you were brought up. That's how you were brought up to behave as a man. That's what's been happening on this planet. Okay? So you've been both sides of the fence. And it's... No. And it's often the way... It's often the way. Yeah. So you're going to get a big release, because often what we're angry at the treatment we're getting is because we've actually been capable of it, or we've done it ourselves. That's often a big part of our deeper healing. And it's really interesting because when we're defensive and righteous, I used to be incredibly righteous about abusers.
Oh, big time.
I was massively righteous about abusers. And a lot of that trauma, I'm still loading, this is massive. A lot of that trauma was because I'd been at myself Like we judge about others the most harshly what we've actually been capable of being ourselves.
Yes. Oh, yes. Big time.
This is
And it's
resonating with you, isn't it?
you. Oh, Peg. I often see myself judging things where I see. But I
Remember,
didn't
we're in it.
connect. And
Yes.
it's sitting in this area again. Oh,
I found it time and time again. When I cleared my timeline of that stuff, of what I'd been capable of as a man, I actually started to have compassion, you know, hurt people, rather than judging them so horribly. Yeah, because I'd released myself from what I'd done. Oh, this is big. We got it. Good. And we're going to put in there the beliefs on soul, personal, and genetic level, and the genes and the DNA. You know, and as a soul evolving, because, you know, like we're an energy system that's coming in each lifetime and it's doing its evolution back to God and oneness, we go, well, I need to actually, we've been experiencing everything, you know, to grow and evolve.
oh, this is huge. Oh.
Okay, and we've got it. We've got all of the charges and the associations and the data and the programs in regard to all of that energy that we picked up, you know, as a woman being minimalized and marginalized and not important, no rights. And we've also put in there the energy of as a male who was actually perpetuating that. So we've got it all on both sides. We've got it in your matrix right now. Let's release it. All of that abuse abused. Let's let it go in regard to women, the way they're treated. We're going to open up and we're going to spiral it out and we're going to let it go and we're going to send it off to life, source and creation, and know the relief of letting it go. And know that by letting it go, that you are no longer stuck in charges of more of the same. Gorgeous. And we're seeing it all dissolve back to God and love. Beautiful. All right, how does that feel?
Oh, huge relief. I hope I don't see this pleading woman running by the side of this man anymore.
And do you know what, honey? That's a really good point. You just said that. If you do, it would be perfect because there'd still be something else there to shift. So whatever we resist persists. So when we have an open heart and we go, well, you know, it's all just going to unfold perfectly. And if she turns up again, that's going to be perfect because then I get to free myself of another big core wound.
I feel like the corners of my mind have been cleared, like lights are coming off, like heavy black stuff that was there feels like it's gone. It's always been sitting there, this heavy thing.
Good, good. You actually look like a woman that's gone for a 10K run and then had a massage. That's how you look. Okay, let's keep going.
Oh, I feel light. I feel
Okay, so
like
go to your sacred nature space. Tell me when you're there.
I'm there.
We're going to bring in unconditional love and self-acceptance and support, and we're going to fill you in this space like a beautiful, big, warm, soft pillow. Gorgeous. And we're going to connect you up to the source energy grand design truth, which is the dissolving of all of those beliefs and energies of abuse, abused, abuser, in regard to women. We're going to dissolve it all back to native nothingness and back to space. That feels so much better. And we're going to connect you up to the source energy grand design truth, which is the energy of your higher self and source, and the loving internal parent, which is the energy of source, life, God, which is the energy of unconditional love that goes through all space, time, and genders, which is the knowing of oneness and mutuality and cooperation, and the assistance of both genders for the highest evolution of soul, love, and connection and truth for all concerned. Love, compassion, and healing for humanity. Oh, and we're going to set up that remembering and that knowing that you are at true self level. Okay, so we're going to now imagine you as a container, and in there is the junk and the stuff, which is all of the abuse, abused, abuser stuff in regard to women being minimalized. And I want you to clean it all out. It all dissolves back to God and love for recycling. And then we've got the pipeline that goes all the way up to that big ball of source energy above your head. And we're going to bring in all of that energy of all of that healing, that resolution, all of the coming together with love and grace and cooperation and co-healing of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And fill yourself with all of that light. See your inner being glowing it and expanding it throughout you as well until you're full. Okay, and then we're going to see the little you, and she's that woman. Broken, empty. Pick her up, bring her over. Then the angels are coming in around and they're surrounding her and they're reaching inside her body and taking out that big ball of junk and stuff and taking it up and away. Okay. And then hug her and pour into her all of that energy of higher self, source, loving, eternal parent. That energy of source, life, God, which is all of the healing and the resolution, which is all of the healing of the divine masculine and the divine feminine in cooperation and harmony and mutuality and oneness. Revered by all of existence and love itself. Oh, that's big. Fill her up. See her inner being glowing and expanding all of that throughout her as well. And then bring her inside of you so that the two of you integrate together. And then see the angels are coming in around and they're surrounding you and they're reaching inside your body and they're switching on those genes. And the cells of your body open up and source flows through you as you glow. Take the glow out, fill up your auric field. Take the glow out into the field and see it connect up with the glow that is the field. Step out with any shadow or dense energy that was left on this, either from you as the female or you as the male. Step out. See it all dissolve back to God and love, and what is left is you are the glow of true self. You are source. Body open and breathing without thought, just be that glow. How does that feel?
Oh, it feels, I've never felt this before. Just wonderful, overwhelming, wonderful. Like it, just love, wonderful. I feel it. Oh, it's big. There's a big thing that left.
We're going to integrate all of that and we're going to bring it through every cell in your body, through all space, time and dimension, or past lives, parallel lives, future lives, this life, right here, right now, as if you've always known it. We're going to bring it all in and we're going to integrate that. Okay, so I'm seeing it going through all your circuitry on multi-dimensions. That universe that's inside you, Bren, that connects you up to the universe. We're seeing a big shift through that, all of that cellularly. Okay, just breathe. Take a couple of deep breaths. All right, I want you to go back to, let's just go to the start. We won't do another shift. We've done massive. You're going to sleep really well tonight.
I feel I'm so grateful. So grateful.
Bren, it's my joy to help you with this. It's my and to help other people that are going to be watching this. It's my absolute joy. So, Bren, you know,
I'm overwhelmed.
Oh, you're so gorgeous. You've
I just want to cry because I'm a real feeling person, so I don't have problems feeling this stuff, but I feel joy.
Yep, and when our trauma leaves, joy is who our true self is. And the more and more pain and fear and trauma leaves our body, the more we just become joy. I love this work. I love it. Bren, when you go back to those initial defenses, you know, when you'd like get your back up and get defensive, check into that now. Okay, what would you have rated it at the start, how big your defenses would be if somebody came at you?
Oh, 100 out of 10. It was huge, huge. But in the last month, I've become aware. I've been reading stuff that says observe, and I've always read that stuff. I've been observing myself, and I almost felt like I was against a wall with those things.
So the rating was massive. Check in your body now. Check in your emotional self and your body now. Feel it. What would your defenses be out of 10 now?
I don't know. Well, it feels like nothing is there. But of course, you know, the test comes in life when someone comes at you. And I keep on remembering Marianne Williamson's thing that says in defenselessness relies your strength. And
absolutely,
when you keep calm, you keep your power. And that's what's running through me. So
yeah. And you'll see what your body does. Because it doesn't, that's the thing. It doesn't matter how much logic we know about something. If we get triggered into an old survival program, we're observing ourselves like a runaway train going, why am I behaving like this? I don't want to, I don't like it, but I can't stop it. And we never stop anything until we address the trauma in our body and we literally change who we are. We become a different human being. Then there's no wounds to manage. So, you know.
Badly.
And it's okay, because if you get triggered now, we've already dismantled and we've evolved and up-leveled a heap. If you get triggered now, that's perfect. Because then it's like, okay, this is the next one.
Bring it on. Yes.
Exactly. And that
I do want it because I want to do this.
Exactly. And it's just when we just have that really calm, like everything's in perfect and divine order. Everything's an aid, an angel in disguise, showing me what's next to evolve myself. So that because what we've worked on today, not only is this improved relationship with self and source, it's also a healing on the divine masculine and feminine, which makes it a lot more beautiful for you to connect up to men as a woman in her grace and power instead of her masculine. And also, we've also cleared that stuff, which was, cleared a lot of it. There may be extra bits that come, but we cleared a lot on that stagnation, that desecration. There's nothing else. What's the point? Because I love how this stuff works. Because at the start of the healing, you know, when we're off air, and you said, well, the defenses, and also I'm stagnant, and I know I've got more potential, and I feel like it's all connected. And I said, well, let's just sort of focus on one and go where it takes us to. But see how they're all interconnected? So it's like the stuff that's always hurting us right now is all interconnected. And it was so good that, and I know there are some nappers. I used to do it at the start. I used to go, oh my God, that was huge. Now I've only got a tiny bit. I'm done on that. But look at what we would have missed if we hadn't kept going, right? Absolutely. And that's the journey. Every time we get a trigger, we go, rather than... My best girlfriend has got this awesome saying. She goes, she's just a narp freak, right? She does it as much as I do. Yeah, she's just a nut freak, quantum freedom healing freak. So what she does, as soon as she gets any trigger, she goes, I will not get sucked into even thinking about that. I will not get in my head. I will not try and intellectualize anything. I'll just clear it through my body. And she just accelerates her evolution. Things in her life change 360 degrees in minutes because of that orientation. And that's all we all have to do.
I mean,
you do.
my car, I do it. You know,
Good.
I want good relationships, and I don't have them because I've never trusted. Well, in South Africa I did, but here I found it. Well, before I came to the United States, I have a friend there who's an astrologer, and you know, he reads people and all that, and he said to me, you are not going to the United States to make a fortune or for anything that the movies tell you. You're going there for your evolution.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, it has been sandpaper. It has been, I have never experienced the pain that I have in my inner being, as I have my own family, my brother's a major narcissist. I've cut him out totally.
Yeah.
My own family, when I arrived here with hardly any money, you cannot believe the abuse that I went through. I had to cut myself off there. But I knew better that I had to. Before I knew about narcissism, I knew you have to cut these people out. I've always been an evolving soul. I've always worked on myself. But this is what it's about. Because you can work on yourself till the cows come home. But if those wounds are not dealt with, you're wasting your time. You know, you can go to all these seminars and everything and become the best person and you know, put all the goals out. Doesn't work if the things are sitting there unhealed.
No, it doesn't. It's like, you know, Debbie Ford used to say about the shadow. It's like putting poop. It's like putting ice cream on top of poop.
That's exactly what it was. It has, and you know, I am so, and I say this this is my second career. Well, I'm a school teacher by profession, and then I was in the wine industry for 14 years and hardly drink. And then I came to the United States and I thought, I'm going to do what I love. Because when you're a child and I love playing with hair and I always did my mother's hair. And I'm creative, but I can't draw. I can do decor and that. And so I did it and evolved. But then I just used to land up cutting men's hair. So I took my barbering license. And when people see me and meet me, you're a barber? No, you look like a banker. And so I don't know, I give it. Because I'm not tattooed and sort of the hip trendy, but I do all the latest stuff and I have a huge following, but I just can't bring myself. I don't get it. When I go for a position in one of those hip trendy shops, they look at me and I think, first of all, you're too old. Secondly, you don't have tattoos. But when I watch them cut, they can't cut like I do because I've been to all the schools. I've been to American Crew, to Score Barbers in Holland. They've been here.
Okay.
I educate, and I'm really good. I should have my own shop, but I don't want the responsibility. But there are no shops in my area because small businesses don't work yet. It's too expensive.
Okay. So all the logic, all the logic comes back to, what are my limiting beliefs? What are my limiting beliefs? There is no outside. There's no outside. There's only ever the reflection back. And it doesn't matter where we are or what the environment or what the statistics or, you know, like all we need ever is one opportunity at the next step, which is like the mirrored back of a healed belief. And they can come from anywhere and anything. And when we have the permutations of what's in the quantum field and what's actually possible, from our lowest disappointment to our highest joy and inspiration, it doesn't matter where you are, they all exist and you only need one. So all you need to do is be aligned. So in all of that conversation, there was a whole heap of limitation.
Yeah,
right?
So I that with the source healing and resolution, because I can't put my finger on it.
It doesn't matter, just ask your body. Right? Because when we get into the logic, just all you say is, right, on my work stuff, all of that limitation, all of where I think I live, all of my environment, all of that stuff, it's just like all that disappointment and stuckedness and frustration. Where is it in my body? How old is this part of me? What's the belief? And just shift. That's all you have to do. It's
So
all
is that limitation, it can't arise now, because I've noticed that it's come because of circumstances here, knocks and things that I've worked with. So
cannot
it was
have,
back.
of
I've got to go in
course,
and say, well, it's always there. So if I shift, so if I go source healing and resolution
yes,
of the
that's important.
limitations of my beliefs about work and opportunity, I just need to put that as my
Even just
intention.
start with your first disappointment. Just start with, oh God, what frustrates me? What, annoys the crap out of me about this? What's painful for me?
Fantastic.
Bren, you've been such a joy to.
Thank you.
I love your
God,
energy.
I want you to go. Please don't go.
Well, I'm always there. I'm always there, and that's my next point. Is like, the forum's going to get a big shift from this, and for people that are looking in joining us in this sort of crazy, amazing life that we have, which is just, liberating and about growth. In the NARP forum, we do a lot of coaching on this stuff. We focus in on specific topics. I'm in there with other thrivers. We're tuning in. We're helping guide people with the big stuff and the breakthroughs. Yeah. All right, Bren. So is there anything that you'd like to say just before we go? Because we're going to go. We have to go.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it really has just changed my life, and getting in touch with your feelings and those wounds, that's the key. And this is what this program has done for me. I just love it. I can't get enough. And I talk about it everywhere I go. My Facebook page is teeming with NARP. See Melanie, people, if I see little things, I say, see Melanie Tonya Evans, and then comes the whole thing. And people have thanked me. People have said, does it really work? I've had people come back to me and said, I've read her blogs and I'm going to join. I mean, I just put it just about in every abuse thing that comes up about women.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that works. I love it. It gets to the essence of who you are. It really does. It's awesome. I don't know what else to say. Don't have fancy sophisticated news. It's fabulous.
Loving it. And you got
turned my life around.
Oh gosh.
Thank you.
So many of our lives. I wouldn't be here.
But the stuff that we did today, I think, was a huge, huge turnaround, breakthrough for me, deep down in the subconscious. Truly, it was fabulous. I think I'm a 0 now on those, but I'll check myself.
Yeah, and life is so faithful. Yeah, life is so faithful. If we've got more to go, it'll show us. I love how life loves us enough to do that. All right, beautiful woman.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, Mel, thank you so much. I appreciate it. How do I switch this thing on? Okay. Blessings.
Look forward to seeing you in the forum, and I love you too, Bren.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye, honey.
Bye.
Bye, darling. Bye.
Bye.